Good morning. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We just finished an amazing hour of Hire It Done. Talked about water quality, plastics in your water, how everyone's getting poisoned, and how to prevent it. The King of Water was my guest. He's still in studio, rocking out the co-pilot seat today. Jared from Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions. Welcome back, Jared.
Good morning, Adam. Thanks for having me.
And in the guest seat, longtime friends of mine and amazing kick butt contractors who have literally taken the brick paving masonry categories by storm in the last, I don't even know, 5, 6, 7, 10 years? How long, you guys?
9 years.
9 years. Mazel tov. And it's all brick design. Ron Casado and John Giangrasso. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us.
So it's allbrick.com is the website. Ron, welcome back. Tell me how long you guys have been doing business. What's going on this year?
A lot. 9 years. This is our 9th season. And
You got a lot of customers going on, right?
yeah, we got a lot. We're pre-selling now. Obviously, the weather, isn't going to allow us to, start any work right now. So we are pre-selling for the season.
Well, the smart homeowners that are calling now are the ones that are going to get their jobs done, because it seems to me that the demand since COVID, although it's always been a big demand, but the demand has been so great and the amount of qualified contractors has been dwindling that cross, the way it's looking is you guys are going to be busy for quite some time, I would think.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. What we've noticed is that our phone rings less, but we sell more jobs.
Right. You got people who are serious.
Yeah.
People know now, they've learned, like, you know what? I'm going to call when I'm ready. And I would rather homeowners do that. Now, if you're in the market, homeowners, to just shop prices, it's okay. You can call them up. They'll give you an idea price range. But if you're serious, you better call now, because if you want your graduation party, the brick pavers done, or the porch done, you got to call now. I mean, John, tell me, is it smart to do that now? I mean, we're already in March. Can I get a whole job done by June or not really?
What a lot of people have to understand is we're a seasonal business, so we don't work in the winter. So I don't sit on a ton of work. What we're doing right now when the snow's on the ground is building that schedule. Preseason savings is absolutely a real thing. It's a real discount. It is. Margins are low right now. We're not working. Take advantage of that. You have to look at it from an economic standpoint. When we're booming and we're running and it's the middle of June, margins aren't going to be as low as they are. And that's just the way business goes. But preseason booking is absolutely an advantage that homeowners should take. You get your best pricing, you get your early season scheduling, you get more time with the contractor. It's advantageous for them to do so.
833-23-BRICK is the number if they want to call you to get an appointment.
Yep. We have secretaries waiting on by right now.
And then allbrick.com is the website to go visit.
Yeah, you can fill out a free estimate form right on that website, too. You don't even have to call.
Well, that's good. And, as we transition towards the outside work for Hire It Done contractors and all the listeners, it's important to know that if you're going to plan properly, call the right guys, because they're not only going to just give you a price, but they're going to give you the roadmap. They're going to give you what you need to do, how you got to plan. They're going to help you through the project. And that's important that you know that. So it's clearly good information for you as a homeowner. Don't forget, it's Shout Out Saturday, 248-539-9797. Text us if you have any questions for brick paving. We've got John Giangrasso and Ron Casado in studio to talk about getting the right brick pavers and the other projects that they do, which is always what we want to do here. Ron, what else do you guys do besides brick paving?
Masonry. We like to say brick on the house, brick on the ground. We're the best brick company around.
Brick on the house, brick on the ground, the best brick company around. That's a part. We can make that part of my rap music.
So
the Vanilla Fella's coming back, by the way.
Chimney repairs, porch repairs, wing walls, mailboxes.
Oh, wing walls. Because I have a couple people who've called me recently and said their wing wall's leaning. Mm-hmm. It's not a retaining wall. It's just coming off the side of the house.
Wing wall, half wall,
You guys can fix all that?
Oh, yeah.
But typically you have to take it down and rebuild it, right?
Yes.
There's no way to put some glue and MacGyver it.
You can take your truck, push it back in place. Some people
People have called. That.
You know what?
Tip it back.
I have a great story for you guys. I hired some jackrabbit guy to do some concrete leveling. I always wanted to try it. I had 2 or 3 slabs. And at the end of my driveway, these big slabs, and they were pulling apart, and there was a big gap in the middle. And he says, "Oh, don't worry." He took a rebar and he tapped it into the ground and he pushed it against the edge of the concrete drive. And he said, "That'll hold it from separating more." I said, "Dude, how much do I owe you?" I said, "How much for cash?" I go, "Here, get the F out of my house. I don't want you ever near me again, and don't ever tell anyone you did work for me, because I'm ripping all this crap out." Like, literally. "Oh, I have self-leveling caulk." He was going to caulk between the 2 things. I just, you know what? Lesson learned. I wanted to learn about it, and that was it. So I learned my lesson. Hey, it is what it is. 248-539-9797. This is Hire It Done. By the way, this hour brought to you by The Roof Resource, as you all know. You hear them on the show. And by the way, you guys have recently met with him. We're going to take a break. I want to hear your thoughts on that, because you get a lot of chimneys, and you guys do chimney repair as well. So keep it locked in, friends. My name's Adam Helfman. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. This hour brought to you by the Roof Resource. We've got All Brick in studio. Ron Casato and John Giangrasso. Jared Beauchamp in the co-pilot seat. Welcome back, Jared.
Good morning.
Jared, do you have any brick pavers at your house?
Yes.
Do you need any work done?
Love them. You know what? I was just thinking about that. I used to do that stuff myself, but not anymore. So,
Oi, yourself? DIY?
yeah, not anymore. It's time to
I'm
pay
going to have
people.
to ask you to leave the studio if you're a
I know it.
do-it-yourselfer. Can you do it yourself, reverse osmosis?
You know what? Our house is always the last one to get done. Isn't that the way it works when you own your own business?
Yeah, well, they're saying, the farmer's kids will last to get fed, the shoemaker's shoes are blah, 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 whatever.
But we do have 2 reverse osmosis systems. One in the basement, one upstairs.
Well, I would think in your house, but who knows? The proper brick paver installation. John, let's talk about it so people know. Because a lot of people say, oh, you do brick pavers? And they're like, yeah. And they just put 2 inches of sand and compact it and they put the brick pavers down. They think it's done. Let's talk about the real. Let's go with a walkway first. Sidewalk brick pavers. How do we do it right?
All right. So, at the risk of boring the audience and sounding like a little professor here,
I'll spice it up.
you want to take first you want to overdig. You want to take your base and extend it beneath and beyond where the patio is going to lay or where the walkway is going to lay.
Sure.
We were all really well versed on those edge walkout patios where you've seen like a walkway and the edges tip on it. There is no overdig base on that. So the base not being overdug doesn't support the edges. So first and foremost, overdig your base. 4 to 6 inches, clean washed, 21 crushed limestone. You tamper that and you layer it. You put your bedding sand down, you lay your pavers.
Okay, so how thick should the 21 AA?
4 to 6 inches.
4 to 6 inches. Okay. And when you say overdig, if you have a 4-foot wide sidewalk, are you saying you got 6 inches on each side, 3 inches?
So you're excavating a total, if you have a 4-foot walkway, you're going to excavate to a total of 5 feet, 6 inches on either side, which will give you a substantial overdig area for that patio to be, or edge to be supported.
Okay, and that's kind of cool. And then as you build it back up, that's how you do that properly. Now, I'll tell you right now, I've met with a lot of brick paver companies or contractors who do that. None of them have done it like you just described. It's very similar, and we've talked about it. The reason why you do it that way is because it'll last.
Yeah, and we get a little bit better stability on the edge as well. When people want to bring decorative block to it and stuff, it's just a cleaner finish. It's a better process for our end user. The homeowner sees better results.
It actually costs a little more to do it that way, but that's the right way to do it.
Quite a bit more, both in material and in labor hours, because obviously you
do it right.
excavating more. But what we've seen it really cut down on is warranty repairs. So it's one of those things where you spend a little bit. Exactly.
Yeah, it's the right way to do it. Look at it. That's how a pro does it, and I appreciate that. Now, the actual brick paver, there's kitchens, there's shingles, there's actual products. Is there a difference in the brick paver you use as opposed to what's out there, or is it basically all the same? What are your thoughts?
So the ASTMC does a really good job of standardizing this and making sure that the materials that we have accessible to our clients are all pretty standard. 9 years ago when we got in business, we married Fent. It's a Michigan-made paver. It's a building material. Fent, they're out of Farmington Hills in Ann Arbor. If you see a Fent catalog this year, that's our work on the cover of it. So for the audience listening, but that's the material that we choose to use. ATSM standard testing, they test higher than any other material.
Right.
Again, they are made in Michigan, so they're a little bit better conditioned for the weather and the climate. And customer
so
service.
Fent's the brand you use.
Yes.
Okay, I know the brand very well. For years I've known it. And congratulations, the new 2024 catalog for Fent brick paving, which is pretty thick. Wow. You're on the cover.
That's us.
Well deserved. And by the way, work is great. So what happens on the edge of the pavers? I've seen some guys put like a thing of concrete. I've seen metal. What do you recommend the right way?
I'll let him take this one because it's a hot topic of discussion in our industry.
It is, yeah. And so tell me, what are your thoughts?
So the concrete, that's a temporary edge restraint. That's what I like to call it.
It's just a holder, like a Band-Aid.
A paver is only 2 3/8 inches thick. You're gonna put 2 inches of concrete on a angle to make sure that them pavers stay in place until you can get some topsoil and some grass to grow, and
well, that makes sense.
Hold those pavers into place, right? I like to use Edge Pro. That's a more of a plastic rubber material. You take 12-inch
Edge Pro.
spikes.
Okay. And how deep does it go down?
So it goes against. It's almost like it's another edge.
Like a strap.
Yeah, it's almost like an angle, But so you got a flat piece that goes against the pavers, and then you got a bunch of holes that you can nail into it.
Okay, and it allows it to stabilize the edge.
Use the galvanized nail, goes in, it rusts over time and locks into that dirt, so you don't see like a lot of that older metal.
So that's permanent, but it's also a permanent solution.
That is a permanent. Then you can put your topsoil right to that and put your grass. It gives you a nice clean look. The concrete is going to crack. 2 inches of concrete anywhere in the state of Michigan is going to crack.
Guaranteed.
It's
well, we know that.
Right? So, a lot of homeowners don't like paying that extra. $2 a foot for that edge restraint. That the Edge Pro. Concrete's cheap, and the pavers look great.
It's a Band-Aid fix. Exactly. I get it. You guys are looking for the long term. Like John said, the warranties the claims are go down because of that. So everyone should do it the right way. There's only one way, right?
Ideally.
Well, that's why I would think about it. So it's interesting. 9 years in business. 96% of all contractors fail in the first 5 years.
Yep.
And I've seen a lot of new names in the brick paving business. I get the inside, outside. I get the Val Packs, and I'm always looking. Where did this guy come from? Where did this guy, paver this and paver that? Has anyone ever called you to say, I need you to maintain my pavers, or come look at, I got some guy did 3 years ago, I need someone to help me?
Yeah, we do get
What do you do on a repair? Like, never want to touch someone else's work, right?
With releveling and say a patio that's 15 years old or something, you're doing a restoration on it. You almost have to take into account that it was done wrong. 15 years ago, we were doing things wrong. We weren't, because we weren't in business, but contractors were. You always have you feel bad when you get that phone call. I had this patio done 3 years ago and it's already failing. But we do get those calls. I mean, that's more frequent than I'd like to admit.
90% of the time, it's the base, right? The pavers are only as good as the foundation. So if you have a bad base, you're going to have bad, finished product. That's just, if you build a house that has a bad foundation, the house is going to fall down. If you build a paver walkway that has a bad, foundation, it's not going to last. So on those relevels, a lot of the times it's, it's a base issue,
Okay, but there you have it. Look at, I don't want to sound cliche, but you and Ron and John, what I always say, the best brick paver is the one that's installed properly. And it makes sense. I mean, it does make common sense, right?
Yeah.
So let's transition just a hair for a minute to actual masonry brick. I got a front porch. I got to rip it out, redo it. It's brick. It has some tile on the front. It's all shaling. It's all popping. Someone comes to you for a new front porch. Easy job for you guys?
Absolutely. Depending on, we're overqualified to take any front porch on.
Yeah.
But depending upon what it needs, whether it be just a precast step, outer wall repair, if we're tearing the whole thing down and putting a new cap on it, we don't have to do many of them, but footing's failing. I mean, that's something that he alluded to.
Yeah.
When you see something's tipping, you can't push it back. You're gonna have to excavate and pour it new. So, top to bottom, we can take any porch repair.
What about brick retaining walls?
Can handle those as well. That's something that you really talk about the right contractor when you're talking about a retaining wall. It has a lot more significance than a walkway.
Right, because there's a lot of load, there's pressure, there's math involved too.
Engineering. I mean, we work with there's landscape engineers that in the front and the back of that book, there's specs for it and how to install it all correctly. And that's the most terrifying thing when you see a chuck and a truck type putting in a big retaining wall that
gotta be
hold some
careful.
grade back. And it's like,
all right, that makes sense.
They usually don't read the last page in the book, do they?
No.
No one ever does.
That makes
we're
it
going to take a quick break.
outstanding.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about retaining walls and chimneys, because I want to talk about roofs with you guys, because we all have made a little match recently. My name's Adam Helfman. Keep it locked in here. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. John Gingrasso and Ron Casado from All Brick in studio. Jared Beauchamp, the King of Water, sitting next to me also. Allbrick.com is the website if you want to get some ideas on brick paving and some masonry. 1-833-23-BRICK is the number. And you guys have, Heather Vandevelder? Did I say it right?
Yeah.
I got it right.
AKA Rockstar.
Rockstar's listening, commenting. Thanks for tuning in, Heather. So Allbrick does masonry as well. We talked about it. And you guys, do brick chimney repair. And the reason why I say it is because I get a lot of questions. People say, oh, just the cap is gone. Well, as you know, when you're repairing a brick chimney and it's like, let's say 6, 8, 10 inches or 12 inches of rot, you got to go down twice as far or 2, 3 times as far to really build it back up properly. Ron, would you agree with that?
You just see me pass my phone to John. I got a phone call yesterday. Can you help out one of my friends? They need their chimney tuck pointed.
Oh. Well,
they sent me some pictures.
Yeah.
They sent me some pictures, and I'm like, that's like, from what I can see in the picture, it's at least a 15-course rebuild, and you need a cap and crown,
Yeah. So, in your experience, that's one of the things people look up because they don't, not visually there right away. They see it and they're like, oh, I'll get a couple more years. And, many roof leaks happen in 2 places, around a skylight and around a chimney. Mm-hmm. And people say, oh, I just had a new roof. Roofers, if the chimney's not good, don't do the roof till the chimney's fixed. And so I'm assuming you guys do a lot of chimney inspections. You must see the brick shaling. And what's the number one thing you're seeing in chimneys today?
Shaling.
Shaling.
Shaling and the sprawling of the brick.
Can you explain to the audience what shaling is?
So a brick's like a sponge.
Correct.
As it absorbs water, it's going to expand. It's going to grow. But unlike a sponge, a brick can hold its containment, so it starts to pop its face off as it swells. That mixed with condensed freeze-thaw cycles, like what we're currently experiencing, every bit of snow that's out here today is going to melt, and by tonight it's going to be liquid in its water form, and it's going to freeze again. It's going to go to its solid form, and it's going to take up more area, and it's going to pop all of the brick. It's just an expansion and contraction thing, but it's the best indicator we have towards repair, what needs to be fixed.
So if somebody has the top of their chimney, which we call the cap, sometimes they're concrete and they're like handmade. Sometimes they're metal.
Yep.
Doesn't matter because the metal ones sometimes are corroded.
Yes. Yeah.
And then brick, as you go down each course of brick, you see the rot. Now, if you have 6 rotted courses, how far below that do you need to go to? Because you can't, sometimes you visually on the outside, it looks okay, but you can go inside and you're like, oi.
General rule of thumb is 2 courses below.
Okay.
Below the smallest point of damage. So if you're 6 courses down, we do an 8 course on there. Our experience shows that that's taking it far down enough. And then we like to tuck point to blend those courses as well so that you get a little bit better bond point between the old and the new.
So the old and the new. It's never going to match exactly.
Not perfectly, but the more skilled mason that you have, the better the look's going to be.
And
There's one brick. There's one brick that matches 90%, 99% of the time.
Is it a reclaim or
it's
what?
A reclaim? Yeah.
I was gonna say.
An orange or a red reclaim.
Reclaims are going to be short supply in the next couple of years.
They already are.
All the demo houses in Detroit that I was involved in, I would always say to them, look, stack up as many brick as you can, even if it's a pallet. It's gold in the future. It's like buying an investment. And they're like, no, just, put it in the dump. Oh, well. Yeah. But it's, there's still enough around. So what about your craftsmen, masons? When you get those guys, do they build scaffolding around the chimneys and stuff?
Of course.
You have
they won't work off ladders anymore. Nobody's
got to do it right.
John Wayne's not building chimneys.
Or the guys who levitate on magic carpet.
Right.
Doesn't happen as much. Okay, so what about the cap? Would you, if someone had a concrete cap, would you just go back with that? Do you buy limestone? What is the newer version today to prevent, or give them a long-term non-leak?
So we still like our distinct look corbel with a limestone edge with a thick parge coat of concrete on top.
Got it. That used
aesthetically
to work.
looks better. Functionality wise, it disperses water better. The whole goal and everything is to try to get water off a brick. That's why
Right.
we have gutters, downspouts, eaves, awnings. You don't want brick getting wet. But we have no protection when we're above the roof line. So we put that corbel on with a thick limestone crown, and it holds up a lot better.
Which I thought that might be the case in that situation. Okay, so when you get up there and someone has a bad chimney, how often do you see the roof bad?
All the time.
You do.
Yeah, well, a couple times a year we will get a call to do a chimney repair on a brand new roof. I always gasp when I have to get up there. That's the last thing you want to do is put masons on top of a brand new roof and just wear the granulars. And I mean, they're going to walk delicately. We're going to be as careful as we can,
They
but
have
it's
to.
a brand new roof.
So for my opinion as a home improvement expert, I tell everyone if you need a new roof but your chimney's bad, hold off on the roof and get the chimney done first. Am I correct in saying that?
That's spot on.
I would take it a step further and say if you need a new roof, get your chimney inspected just to make sure that it's okay. Because even in a year after that roof, down the line, if you've got a brand new roof and then you're like, oh, I need a chimney. No, I would hit both at the same time.
Yeah.
That's actually really good advice. Thank you about that. We got Ron Casado and John Gene Grasso from All Brick. The number's 833-23 Brick. Allbrick.com is the website. How busy are you guys this year?
Busy.
You're going to be busy. What's the advice you give a homeowner right now who says, I think I want to do a patio. I got concrete. I want to rip it out and put brick pavers, and I need my chimney rebuilt. What's the advice you give them? Call now?
Call now. 833-23
You squeeze
Brick.
everyone in,
We're running appointments. So we're fully staffed, even though it's winter outside. But we're running appointments inside of 3 to 5 days, so we can get somebody out there, get you a price, get you a number on site. We don't take anything back to the office. If you like it, you leave a deposit. You're on schedule.
You guys met with Mike Harvey from the Roof Resource this week.
Wonderful gentleman.
You liked him?
Yeah,
That guy he's brilliant.
You think so?
that was. We should have paid for that meeting. The
I have,
information that we took out of it.
I have a roofing background. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
when you told me about what that guy was doing, I was like, that's going to disrupt a lot of people. He's going to have a lot of enemies real fast.
Can I
And
be honest with you? I agree with you, but you know who they all hate? Me. I got the guy from SRS called me up because, man, you're the most hated man in roofing right now. Okay.
you helped a lot of those companies get started, though, with
All of
hired
them.
done.
All of them. And I gave them all a year's notice. I said, look, there's change coming in the industry. You can participate or you can go away. I want you to participate. And they looked at me like, I can't, change is hard in any contracting business. We all know. You lead, follow, or get out of the way.
That's it.
And I told them, I'm going to lead this industry. And we ended up fixing the roofing industry. Mike Harvey is a genius. I agree.
I don't know how he's making money.
Well, can I be honest with you? He got me involved.
That's why.
Okay? There's the answer. Mazal.
That's
Right?
no,
Right.
Let's make a deal on a watch. Mazal.
That guy is it's a brilliant idea.
We like it. Look at even Jared. He's been around for a while now. Jared, you think it's a great idea, don't you?
Oh yeah, I've met with Mike as well, and he's a very, very smart person, and he's got a great business model.
It always takes someone from outside the industry to make the disruption. But what validated it for me is when the manufacturers are now circling like sharks.
Yeah, because they know what they
Calling.
have.
The private equities. What's going on here? The big wigs in the insurance repair industry. What's this thing? And everyone's trying to punch holes, bullet holes, shooting in it. Hey, whatever it is, maybe we can do brick pavers at cost.
We try.
We were talking about that on the way here. Even like, brick pavers might be a little easier than chimney repair. Like you
Oh,
can't
yeah, no,
expect a
100%.
homeowner to go outside and go, I need a 16-course rebuild with a limestone cap and reinforced concrete crown.
Right.
Like pavers, I have this area that I want, and this is the color I want. We might be onto something, but
You make a deal with Fent, and the people. There's a way to do it, and then with satellite photography, you can see the area, square footage of a paver. You can do all that the best way. All right, we're going to take a quick break. 248-539-9797. We got some good questions coming, and we'll get those later in the next segment. We have All Brick Design, or allbrick.com, in studio. John Gene Grasso and Ron Casado. If you have any questions or keep it locked in, we'll be back in a couple minutes. My name's Adam Helfman. Keep it locked in right here. Welcome back. This is Hired Done. My name's Adam Helfman. All Brick is in studio. Brick pavers, masonry. We're just talking about chimneys. John Giangrasso, Ron Casado in studio with them. Brighton Home Show this weekend.
It is.
You guys have a booth there?
We do.
Where's that located at?
So it's at Mount Brighton. It's going to run today between 10 and 5, and then tomorrow between 12 and 4. This is the long-awaited arrival. This was pre-COVID we booked this, and now they're finally coming to fruition. So we're excited about that.
Yeah. It was yesterday snow. I wanted to go sledding. You still sled? Any of you go sledding?
We snowmobile.
My sled has a
That's
motor
right, you're
on it now.
snowmobiler.
Yeah, I mean, that's sledding.
I just want that, like the Captain America, shield,
saucer.
sit on it, go down the hill in Franklin. That was me.
Garbage
Fat
bag.
little kid. Yeah, garbage bag. I had all those. Whatever. Hey, what can I say? I can't get. I'm immature. You know what I'm saying? So basically, business is going to be good this year. What is your prediction, in the future of the economy? Because I know we haven't even talked about this, and I don't want to, any fear here, but prices for everything have been ridiculous. You guys have been able to adjust and provide the value because someone wants it done right. If they see the value, they're going to pay it.
Yes.
It's very rare, but what's your prediction for this year?
I think we do well. I mean, I couldn't imagine starting a business in this current climate. Thank God we started when we did, when things were still somewhat reasonably priced.
Correct.
We were able to secure lifelong friends and quality labor, and we have a very, very good foundation and relationship with our employees and just everybody involved with it. I would cringe if I had to secure those same things today. I could only wrap my head around the cost. So I think that we do well this year. I think that it's another boom year, but ultimately we've been successful because we've been able to maintain that cost. We've had our eye on it since day one.
Yeah,
Well,
and that's the best part.
What we've done now is to try to keep the price as low as possible for the consumer. We got a name now. We got a little bit of reputation. So now we
Little
can go,
bit platinum, dude.
we can go to our suppliers, and go, hey,
Yeah.
we're buying X amount of dollars from you guys. Like we need a little more discount. Like
Well, Fent has been participating with you guys for a while now. I've known you guys for 9 years since you started. You've come a long way. I'm very proud of you. You should literally be proud of yourselves because you've done all the right things. Good contractors are ones that are solution-minded. So when there's a headache or if there's a problem, you solve it. It's not like pointing fingers and saying, You guys take a common sense approach. I see hundreds of contractors all the time, and I can tell, okay? So you should be proud of yourselves, and you should be, chin up that you really are doing the right thing. So congratulations to you.
I appreciate that.
And
Thank
look at it. 2024 is an election year. So
Don't remind us.
Well, you're going to see. Everyone's going to be so sick of all the commercials and this and that. Vote. I endorse this message. Whatever at the end of them. I just want to smash everyone in the face when I hear that. So
We should probably vote though.
no, you.
You got to vote. You
We
gotta
should
vote.
probably vote.
I'm going to vote from home. Maybe I'll go vote a few times.
Easy.
Just kidding. So, anyways, you're looking forward to a good year. Are you hiring?
We are actually. We are currently looking for salesman, office help, and I believe one material handler.
Okay, well, office help at more like admin or something?
Yes.
Can they do it remote or they have to come to the office?
They would be in the office.
Yeah, I feel like more production gets done when you come to the office.
Yeah, it's
Depending on the business.
depending on the business. I mean, we have employees that I would allow to function from home, to work from home,
Yeah.
and then they still demand to come into the office. So
And then in sales, people come out to the house, measure, discuss the product, company, scheduling, pricing,
Yep.
moving forward.
we're very, not that we're not select on who we hire, but we really scrutinize the sales portion of it.
You don't want guys coming in $10,000 in the first hour and then, 65 minutes later, they're down to, whatever it is.
It's a fit to a culture fit. You can be the best salesman in the world if you don't fit the team dynamic. I don't
You're
want
out.
you. Yeah. So you don't want somebody that's going to be abrasive. You don't want somebody that's going to really gouge customers. Like you have to have that discussion too. The best salesman in the world still better be ethical.
Culture. Yeah. You're right. I agree with you. And that's always an important thing to do. I'm glad that you guys even think about that. You have a great relationship with Fent. They support you. You were talking earlier, Ron, about the, the supplier relationships and things like that. Do they do any co-op with you guys or help you out?
We
or
do, yeah. We got co-op, so they give us the Novi Home shows probably the biggest home show
They
around.
give you all the
They give us
product.
all our pavers. You know, they
Smart.
deliver them for us. No, they're great to us. They
How long does a paver last? The actual brick itself?
lifetime.
Forever, right?
Yeah.
If it's
If you don't put salt on it,
yeah.
or calcium chloride, and lifetime. We don't see the pavers themselves don't deteriorate.
What about ceiling pavers? You know, I've seen some milky looking pavers. What, is that snake oil? It's like now you see it on the roofs, right? Is it the same stuff?
The sad fact of the matter is that it was created in the industry to create a residual contract so that you could have a maintenance upkeep.
Right.
And even they used it in the industry.
Like the
So now we have a sand that goes in between the joints that has a
Polymeric?
polymeric in it,
Yeah.
right? That hardens. You water it and it hardens like concrete.
Yeah.
You know, before that was
Silica.
they were using just play sand, and they would put that sealer on there to give that top coat of that sand a hardened finish so it wouldn't erode as fast, which in return made the paver shiny, which it looks great when it's first done.
You're like,
It's
oh, man.
it's awesome looking, right? Now wait 6 months when the sun's beating on it or snow or and you got to replace that every year to keep that same look. People,
So what's the right way today? You guys are done with the job. You use polymeric, right?
we do.
correct.
And then is there anything necessary on top of it or just a light brush every year?
Just like brush every year.
Yeah.
People ask what we can use to clean it. A soft brush, simple green, Dawn dish soap, water. Those are all the homeowner remedies that you can use to clean your pavers, and it'll be more than sufficient.
I'm not saying that sealers are wrong, but I'm not saying they're right either.
They're
You
not
don't recommend
spec'd.
them.
They're not spec'd. You won't find in that book anywhere where Fent specifically says we want a sealer applied to our product. It's not spec'd by a manufacturer.
Okay. Are there new colors, new designs since the last couple of years? Have they come up with any, or is it just
Yeah.
hexagon? And
We went through our gray
rectangle?
phase.
Yeah.
Thank God we're out of that, because I can only
Red
install
paint.
so
Gray's
many
the new
gray
beige.
pavers.
Remember back in early 2000s, it was greens and
Yeah.
earth tones and all that. Then we went through that gray phase. Now it looks like we're getting back into those earthy
Browns.
colors.
You know, it's
Greens.
funny. There's always a cycle. Look at white cabinets for the last 20 years were the best, right? And then it's transitioned to gray cabinets, right? Or white, and then the island was gray. And everyone, I got gray. Psh, psh. Now it's natural. It's going to be maple frosted. Oaks are coming back.
I like that gray color.
Yeah,
I love
there's
that.
nothing against it.
Yeah.
I just
Obviously,
got
it's popular.
How many variations of gray can you have? How many
Oh.
variations of gray? And
Yeah, right.
I've installed a lot.
Like
of
my
them.
whole house is like blues, grays, whites.
So what's the popular one now?
Cedarville,
Walnut-
probably.
Yeah, in walnut, it's like their classic. That'd be like their white subway tile. you
What
know?
about the size? Is there a different
The
size?
irregular sizes are becoming big. We
Irregular?
are starting to see that. Yeah.
Is it hard to like Tetris?
Well, there's a book, so there's a pattern to it. There's a formula. It gets difficult when somebody will want like a big pattern on a walkway, where you're gonna have a lot of cuts and a lot of tiny pieces, and aesthetically it's gonna look great, but you have to discuss the longevity there. How long is this thing gonna hold up?
How do you ensure that everything's flat?
Poncho has a laser eye.
You got Poncho?
We got poncho,
I
lasers,
remember
levels.
him.
Yeah, it's
Good. So you use lasers, you know.
String lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chalk lines and all that. I figured as much. Well, if anyone wants to get a hold of you, it's allbrick.com. The number 833-23-BRICK. You're at the Brighton Home Show today, which is at Mount Brighton.
correct.
Can you go? Can you ski on Mount Brighton? Is it even big?
I don't know if they have. I don't know if they have snow. Maybe they're making snow. I don't know. It's been too warm. I'm not sure. I'm not a big skier.
Me neither.
Me neither.
You guys are snowmobilers.
Yeah.
I'm not even a snow guy.
You might see Adam out there with a sled later.
I was not a
Hey, I was
snowboarder.
sledding. I
You
was
probably
sledding.
sled there.
I'd love to.
When I first got introduced to snowmobiling, I'm like, you guys are insane. I do not want to go out and freeze my
Right. Took
rear
this.
end off, and
You have heated seats on the snowmobile?
you don't need it.
We don't sit.
heated handlebars.
Red mountains.
Yes.
What happens if you hit you're flying through the snow and how fast you go?
Not that fast.
What if you hit a rock?
You do.
Oy. All right. I don't want to hear anymore. I'm getting nervous. I want to tell everyone, I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank for all the Facebook Live listeners. Allbrick.com. You guys are great. Welcome back. We're going to do the couple weeks for the Novi.
Yep.
We'll get you in here. Jared, King of Water. You're the king, man. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And I want to thank everyone for listening. We'll be back next week. My name's Adam Helfman. This is Hire It Done.